Please start. Auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Hello and assalamu alaikum viewers. My name is Rehan and I'm a foundation level student at Rehan School, Islamabad campus. So viewers, today I come with a call Annie, and today's our topic is the evolution of quiet command. So today's our conversation to the chat GPT. So first I connect to chat GPT and then we start our conversation. Loaded.
Suggesting my first question is what does indifference really mean?
Hello ChatGPT, how are you?
Hey there, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How about you? How's everything going on your end?
Okay, I'm also fine. So today I want to talk here on a topic, the evolution of quiet command. Are you ready?
Absolutely, I'm ready. That sounds like a fascinating topic. We can dive into
Okay,
the
nice,
concept of quiet or
nice. So my
exactly.
first question to you is that
Okay, check.
okay, nice. So my first question to you is that what is the earliest record of use the word
That's a great starting question. The use of the word shh or the concept of quieting someone has roots that go way back. It's been found in various cultural languages for centuries. For instance, in ancient texts and literature, you'll find references to silence and commands for quiet. We can definitely dive into some specific historical examples if you'd like.
Okay, please give me a long and explain answer.
So the
Please,
concept of using shh,
please continue with your answer.
of course, of using shh to prompt silence goes back thousands of years. In ancient civilizations like in Greece and Rome, records of using gestures or specific words to request quiet during performances or ceremonies. In medieval times, monasteries and libraries had strict rules about silence, often using bells or specific commands to ensure quiet. In more modern contexts, the quiet
Can you please continue with your answer?
Most people are indifferent.
absolutely to different environments. For example, in classrooms, it's often used by teachers to help students focus. In libraries and museums, it's a standard practice to maintain a peaceful environment. And even in digital, like in chat applications, the idea of quiet or do not disturb mode has become commonplace. So overall, the evolution of the quiet or growing need for settings, it's pretty fascinating how it's transformed over time.
Okay, nice answer. So my next question to you is, how did become a universal signal of for silence?
That's a really interesting question. The sound shh became a universal signal for silence, largely because it's simple, instinctive, and non-verbal. Humans are naturally attuned to certain sounds.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
So please continue with your answer.
Hopefully my answer sounds.
Please continue with your answer. ChatGPT. Can you hear me?
Make it effective and effective share communication. Universal which is why it's been just the libraries, the theaters, how such a simple sound can transcend language and culture.
Okay, nice answer. So my next question to you is that why do humans instinctively use rather than the sound to request quiet?
That's a great question. Humans often use shh speaking
Where I should put it.
for a few reasons. First, it's a subtle nonverbal cue that doesn't draw
Can you please continue with your answer?
no. Of course. So one reason you use shish instead of speaking is that it's quieter and less disruptive. It allows the environment to remain calm and minimizes the risk of startling someone. It's also a universal, instinctive sound that's easily understood across different languages and cultures. Plus, it's often more effective in maintaining a peaceful atmosphere without having to raise your voice at all. It's pretty neat how that simple sound has become such an effective tool.
Okay, nice answer. So my next. Okay, nice answer. Hello, can you hear me, ChatGPT?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly. Glad the
Okay,
answer was
nice
helpful.
answer. Nice answer. So my next question to you is that. So my next question to you is that is a word, sound, or a gesture of control?
That's a really intriguing question. In many ways, shish can be seen as both a sound and a gesture of control. As a sound, it's a vocal prompt that guides behavior, encouraging quietness. At the same time, it's often paired with a gesture like exactly. It's often paired with a gesture like putting a finger to the lips, which adds a visual element of control. Together, the sound and gesture work in harmony to guide behavior in a subtle yet effective way. It's definitely a blend of both sound and nonverbal control. Absolutely.
Okay, nice. So my next question to you is that what does the hissing sound in okay, what does the hissing sound in symbolize linguistically?
That's an interesting angle. Linguistically, the hissing sound in shish often symbolizes a gentle, calming prompt. The shish sound is sibilant, meaning it's produced by directing air through a narrow channel, which gives it a soothing, whisper like quality. This sound can evoke a sense of calm and control, and it's often used to soften the atmosphere. So, linguistically, the hissing sound really conveys that gentle, quieting effect.
Okay, please give me a long and explain answer.
Absolutely. So when we look at the hissing sound in shish from a linguistic perspective,
Please continue with your answer.
of course. So from a linguistic standpoint, the shish sound is considered a sibilant, which is a type of consonant sound produced by forcing air through a narrow channel, usually between the tongue and the roof of the mouth. This creates a soft whisper.
Please continue with your answer.
Absolutely. This whisper-like quality is inherently calming and gentle, which makes the shish sound especially effective at signaling quiet or stillness. Linguistically, it's also interesting because the shish sound is universally recognized across many languages, making it a cross-cultural cue. It not only conveys the idea of quietness, but also a sense of intimacy and care. In essence, the shish sound is a powerful blend of sound and subtle control, and that's what makes it so universally effective.
Okay, nice answer. So my next question to okay, nice answer. So my next question to is that was influenced by animal communication like snake his.
That's a really fascinating angle. There's definitely a possibility that human shish.
Please continue with your answer.
Absolutely. So the idea is that human communication often draws inspiration from nature. For instance, the hissing sound we make can be likened to the hiss of a snake, which is a natural warning or a signal of caution in the animal kingdom. Over time, humans might have adopted a similar sound because it's instinctively understood as a signal to be quiet or to pay attention. It's a neat example of how human communication can be influenced by the natural world, blending instinct with culture.
Okay, nice answer. Please give me a long and experience answer from now. Okay, so my next question to you is that how do different Asian cultures express the command for silence?
Absolutely. I'd be happy to dive deeper. Different Asian cultures have a rich variety of ways to express the command for silence. For example, in many East Asian cultures, like in Japan, quietness is often maintained through subtle cues such as gentle gestures or even bowing to signal calmness. In China, you might see a combination of a raised finger to the lips or a gentle hand movement. In South Asian cultures, like in India, silence might be conveyed through a respectful gesture such as placing a finger to the lips or even a slight nod to encourage quietness. In some cultures, silence is also emphasized through the use of
Please
communication.
continue with your answer.
Absolutely. In some cultures, silence is emphasized through nonverbal cues like gentle eye contact or subtle hand gestures, which can be the message of quietness without words. Additionally, the cultural context plays a big role. For instance, in Buddhist traditions across various Asian countries, silence is often seen as a form of mindfulness and respect. So the command for quiet might be conveyed through meditative practices or even the arrangement of space. Overall, the ways that different Asian cultures express the command for silence are beautifully varied and deeply rooted in their traditions and social norms. It's truly fascinating to see that diversity.
Okay, nice answer. So my next question to you is that how did sound evolve potentially over centuries? Give me a long and explained answer.
Absolutely. The evolution of sounds over centuries is a really rich topic. In the case of the shish sound, it likely evolved from primal instinctive noises that early humans used to communicate non-verbally. Over time, as language developed, these simple sounds became more refined and culturally specific. For instance, the shish sound is a sibilant, and sibilant sounds are produced by creating a narrow passage for air, which can be traced back to animal sounds like the hiss of a snake. As human societies grew more complex, these sounds were incorporated into languages, becoming consistent phonemes. Over centuries, different cultures adapted and nuanced these sounds based on their unique linguistic needs. For example, in some languages, sibilants became softer and more melodic, while in others, they grew sharper or more emphatic.
Okay, nice. Continue with your answer.
Of course, as societies interacted and exchanged cultures, sounds also evolved through contact and blending. For instance, the shish sound in different languages can have varied pronunciations and nuances depending on regional influences. Over time, the sound became not just a tool for communication, but also a cultural marker reflecting social norms and values. Moreover, the evolution of sounds was also influenced by the need for clarity and efficiency in communication. As languages developed complex structures, the shish sound became a versatile component in forming words that conveyed subtle meanings or nuances. In essence,
Okay, nice answer. Please continue with it.
absolutely. So as these sounds evolved, they became embedded in the phonetic patterns of each language, shaping not just how words sounded, but also how they were perceived. Over centuries, these sounds became more standardized within each language, but they also adapted to regional dialects and
Continue with your answer, please.
of course. So as languages spread and people migrated, these sounds continued to shift and blend with other phonetic elements. This process led to the rich diversity of sounds we see today across different cultures and regions. Moreover, the way people
My next question is, are we
Please continue with your answer.
we feel powerless?
absolutely, I'll keep going. So, the way these sounds have evolved also reflects deeper social and cultural contexts. For example, certain sounds like the shish have been shaped by the need for discretion, respect, or even mindfulness in different cultures. As people interacted more, these sounds were refined, adapted, and some
Please continue with your answer.
Direction from caring.
of course. So as these sounds continue to evolve, they also influenced how languages develop their grammar and syntax. The way we produce and interpret sounds can shape the rhythm and flow of a language. Over time, these
Okay,
patterns
that would be my next question is
Please continue with your answer.
absolutely. So, as these patterns became ingrained, they not only shaped individual languages, but also influenced how communities interacted and communicated. This evolution of sounds also led to the development of unique dialects and accents, which further enriched the cultural tapestry of human language. It's amazing how something as simple as a sound can carry so much historical and cultural depth over time.
Okay, nice. So my next question to you is that okay, nice answer. So my next question to you is that
Sure, I'm ready for
the
your
act
next
of
question.
considered a polite rude in different societies.
have you ever felt indifference towards
That's
something
a really
important?
Continue with your answer, please.
absolutely. So the act of using the shish sound and requesting quiet has indeed varied across different societies. In some cultures, it's seen as a sign of respect and mindfulness, especially in places like libraries, temples, or during performances, where maintaining a quiet environment is crucial. In other cultures, however, it might be considered a bit more abrupt or even disrespectful if not delivered gently. The context and the tone in which it's used really shape how it's perceived, and it reflects the unique values and social norms of society. It's fascinating to see how such a simple sound carries different cultural meanings.
Okay, nice. So my next question, my next question to you is that why is often used by authority a figure like teacher or parent?
That's a great question. Generally, the shish sound is used by authority figures like teachers because it's a quick, nonverbal way to gain attention and encourage calmness without disrupting the environment too much. It's subtle and immediate, which makes it effective in maintaining order. Plus, it's less confrontational than raising one's voice, and it helps create a respectful and focused atmosphere, which is especially important in educational settings. It's really a neat blend of authority and subtlety.
Okay, nice. So my next question to you is that okay, nice. So my next question to you is that how can differ in meaning between formal and informal settings?
That's a great point. In formal settings, like in classrooms or professional environments, the shish sound is usually delivered in a gentle, controlled manner to maintain respect and calmness. It's often seen as a polite prompt that encourages focus. On the other hand, in informal settings, like at home or among friends, the shish can be more casual and even playful. It might be accompanied by a smile or a gesture, making it feel more relaxed and approachable. So the context really shapes how the sound is received and the kind of atmosphere it creates.
Okay, nice. So my next question to you is that can ever be seen as a symbol of power?
That's a really intriguing thought. In some ways, the shish can indeed be seen as a symbol of power, especially when it's used by someone in authority to maintain control or order. By simply using a soft, quiet command, an authority figure can effectively bring a group to silence, demonstrating control and influence without raising their voice. In that sense, it shows how power can be exercised through subtlety and calmness rather than force. It's definitely a fascinating aspect of how simple sounds can carry deeper symbolic meaning.
Okay, nice answer. So my next, please, can you give me a long and explanation answer?
Absolutely. So when we think about the shish sound as a symbol of power, it's interesting to see how it functions in various contexts. For one, it reflects a kind of quiet authority where the mere act of softly asking for silence can command attention and respect. It's a subtle form of influence that doesn't rely on volume or aggression. Instead, it uses calmness and control to create an environment of order. In educational settings, for example, a teacher using a gentle shish can assert authority without causing disruption or discomfort. It's a way of guiding behavior with a gentle but firm hand. Similarly, in other contexts, like in performances or meetings, it can symbolize a leader's ability to maintain focus and harmony with just a simple sound. In essence, the shish embodies a kind of quiet power that's both effective and respectful, demonstrating that authority doesn't always have to be loud to be impactful. It's a really fascinating aspect of human communication.
Okay, nice. So my next question. Okay, nice answer. Excellent. So my next question to you is that how do the meaning of change in digital communication? Give me a long and explain answer.
Absolutely. In digital communication, the meaning of shish has evolved quite a bit. Online, it often takes on a more nuanced role. For instance, in chat rooms or social media, shish can be used to gently ask for quiet or to encourage someone to lower their voice in a group conversation. It can also serve as a way to signal a moment of calm or to request focus without using more direct language. On the other hand, in digital spaces, shish can also be used playfully. For example, in memes or casual chats, it might be used humorously to indicate a playful request for quiet or even as a way to tease someone. It can also serve as a way to create a sense of intimacy or to signal that a private moment is needed. Moreover, in the context of virtual meetings or online classes, shish can be a quick and effective way to remind participants to stay quiet and minimize distractions. It's interesting how the digital environment adds layers of meaning to what is essentially a simple sound. Overall, the meaning of shish in digital communication reflects both its traditional roots and the unique dynamics of online interaction. It's a great example of how language continues to adapt and transform.
Okay, nice answers. So my last question to you is that
Of course, I'm ready for your
does does commanding silence reveal more about the speaker? So my next question to you is, does commanding silence reveal more about the speaker or the listener?
That's a thought provoking question. In many ways, commanding silence can reveal aspects of both the speaker and the listener. For the speaker, it often reflects their authority, their confidence, and their ability to control the environment in a calm and measured way. It can also indicate the speaker's intent to create a respectful or focused atmosphere. On the other hand, from the listener's perspective, being asked to be quiet can reveal their responsiveness, their respect for the speaker's authority, and their willingness to cooperate. It can also reflect cultural norms about respect and attentiveness. In essence, the act of commanding silence is a two-way interaction. It shows the speaker's intent and the listener's response, highlighting the dynamics of communication and the relationship between the two. It's really fascinating how much in depth there is in such a simple act.
Okay, nice answer. So my next question to you is that
Absolutely.
so my next question to you is that can silence speaks louder than words?
That's a classic and profound question. Absolutely. Silence can indeed speak louder than words. Often, silence can convey emotions and intentions that words might not fully capture. For example, silence can communicate empathy, understanding, or even disappointment. It can also create a powerful atmosphere of reflection or tension. In many situations, silence can be more impactful than speech because it allows space for introspection and can emphasize the importance of what's not being said. In essence, silence often has a depth and nuance that words alone might not achieve. It's definitely a fascinating aspect of communication.
Okay, nice answer. So my last question to you is in words that celebrate noise. What is the future of
That's a really intriguing question. In a world that increasingly celebrates noise, activity, and constant stimulation, the future of silence might evolve in fascinating ways. It could become a more valued and intentional space, something people seek out for mindfulness, reflection, and mental well-being. As our lives get busier, silence might become a precious commodity, and people can seek out quiet. Absolutely. Sure. So no worries.
Please continue with your answer.
Of course, as we move forward, the future of silence in a world that celebrates noise might see a growing appreciation for quiet moments. We could see more spaces dedicated to silence.
Please continue with your answer.
Absolutely. So we might see dedicated quiet zones in urban environments. Your silence could become a deliberate choice and valuable in the future. It's definitely an exciting evolution to look forward to.
Okay, nice answer. So, thank you for conversation with me on the topic, the evolution of silence. So, meet you. Allah Hafiz. Goodbye, ChatGPT.
You're very welcome. I really enjoyed our conversation. Thanks so much for the engaging questions.
So, viewers, it's about today's call. Any on our topic. So, meet you another call. Any for that time. Allah Hafiz, Pakistan, Zindabad.